Say hi to everybody. Say hello. Say this is a quarter quilter. And I'm Zach, and I'm going to be sewing today. Or we're cutting. Say hello. This is my helper today, and this is a quarter quilter, and I'm Regina. This is Zachary. He's a rescue. His previous owner passed away. Yep. Say hello. And he's going to help cut some clothes apart. Yeah. See? Birds out, that means all dogs are in their cages. Yep. Can't have birds and dogs out at the same time. And we decided we're going to cut some clothes. Yes. And he's going to help. You can help? Want a treat? One. Got one? We're going to cut a pair of shorts apart. I collected a lot of black and white clothes. We're going to cut some apart. You're making a mess. Big help, isn't he? First thing we do is we're going to turn them inside out so we can see where all the seams are. And this is 100% cotton. Yes. Can you be quiet? You're making a mess. See, this has got a wide seam on it, wide waistline. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this whole waistline off. And cut the button off. Got to keep the button. Yes, we do. We're going to make a button quilt, maybe. It's going to be real heavy. My granddaughter has been diagnosed with autism. There's a slight case of autism. And she likes, they said, a heavy blanket, a weighted down blanket is going to be good for her. So we're just going to save all the pillows, all the buttons, and put it on a blanket so it's a little heavier for her. Her mom's going to hate washing it, though. Oops. So, you going to talk to him today? Zach. When we got Zach, his full name was Prozac. And they said he was tested to be a boy. So we changed his name, didn't we? Mommy didn't like him calling Prozac. So when we first got him, he only liked boys. Very fond of my husband. Yep. But now he still takes to my husband a little bit more than me. But he loves me now. He wouldn't come up on me. He wouldn't come nowhere near me when we first got him. And we've had him now 2 years. And he loves me now. Because I'm home all the time. My husband works long hours. So my husband doesn't get to spend a whole lot of time with him. What we're going to do next is we're going to cut. This is the inner seam where the zipper and the back side is. We're going to cut it all the way from the zipper all the way till you get to the back side of it, and then you'll have two pieces. And we just cut out the zipper part. We don't keep zippers. I keep some if they're really long, because a friend of mine, she makes clothes, and sometimes finding those extremely long zippers are hard or expensive. So she asks for them whenever I can get those. So I have no problems cutting them out. We cut them out a little bit different when we find those. That way I'm not cutting into the zipper part. You playing with me? Yeah. And no. All right. Sometimes you don't know if he's going to bite or if he's going to kiss. He's a lovey-dovey. My scissors I did not buy in the craft department. I actually bought these at Ace Hardware. And much better than some of the scissors I found in the craft department. They seem to cut real well. Yes. We're down to 2 legs. Okay. We'll cut the inner part, the short part first. What I do is I'm cutting this whole piece out. Cutting on this side of it, and I'm cutting on this side of it. So this whole piece will come out. And this way, I don't have to get my seam ripper out. If I seam ripped every piece of clothes I took apart, I would not get through as many clothes as I do. Plus, you can't use that part anyhow. It's like salvage. And as long as I can get a nice size strip or square out of this, I'm okay with it. See? It's all I wasted. That little bit. Let's see. We're going to cut the pocket out next. We're going to cut the pocket. There's two pockets in this. Back pocket and side pocket. Thank you. We're going to cut the back pocket out. And the back pocket is got a flap. So we're going to try to cut it. Would you stop talking? I'm talking. We're going to cut as close to this piece here as we can, so we don't have as much waste. He's rubbing his beak on me. He means he loves me. It's his way of hugging. There we go. Let's see. There we go. I've caught a cold. So you probably noticed in the video I did earlier, I'm coughing a lot. I'm sniffing a lot. This is all we wasted. It's the pocket itself, which is one of them fake pockets. So to me, it was a waste of time putting it in the clothes. But this is all we got wasted. You stop. Here. Hey, Zachary. Want that? So we're going to cut the seam. We're going to cut right next to this. Now. Thank you. What are you doing? Don't eat my hair. No. You're not much help. There we go. So now this is the piece. All we got left to cut off is this piece right here. And sometimes if it's a what they call a loose hem, where it's just like whip stitched in there, I'll take it and I'll take my seam ripper to that. But this is a full-fledged, you know, really firm stitching in there, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to seam rip all those tiny stitches out. We're just going to cut as close to this line as we can, and this will be the only salvage I got. Now I use my I have a bag underneath my desk, and all these little pieces will go in there, and when I get a whole bag full, I will make a new dog bed for my Great Danes. And it takes many bags full of these scraps to make one dog bed for a Great Dane. See? That's the whole piece. I accidentally overcut right here, but that's okay. And when the whole thing's done, we fold it all up. Now I washed all these clothes when I first got them, and I transferred them into boxes. That way I didn't have to stop and wash what I want to use, and yeah. So I spent 3 days washing all those clothes up that I got. And here's the front pocket. That's all the waste that there was. It's this little piece that goes in the front. You want this? Okay. So he's a big help. He makes sure I get the right amount of waste. You dropped it. My back. Put it over there. And let's see. It doesn't take long to cut them apart. If you got help like mine, it takes a little longer. There's the front part of the shorts. Now you can get probably 12 or maybe 15 2.5-inch squares out of that. I bought a lot of black and white clothes this last time when I went to the Council on Aging, so I can have a black and white themed quilt. And I said, you can find good deals. Goodwill, not so much. But if you could talk your Goodwill into saving men's shirts for you that they cannot sell, or ladies' dresses that just tell them 100% cotton. Stop talking when I'm talking. You know, they might be more accommodating too. That way they're not throwing away or they're wasting anything. You know, like each Goodwill, each thrift shop is different. If you got a thrift shop in town where people just drop off their used clothes and they find some that they can't sell, ask them if they can't save them for you. You know, they may be accommodating. You know, like I said, every person who runs their stores are different. You know, there's no harm in asking. Just tell them you want to refurbish it. And a lot of the quilts that I make from the clothes, I do put up for sale. But most of them go down to a friend of mine's church and they quilt them. For the most part, they're just lap-size quilts. And they quilt them and then they send them on to the Children's Hospital for cancer patients so that they're warm. And some go to homeless shelters so that they have blankets for everybody who stays there. You know, I have no money invested other than the thread and my time. And it gives me a chance to make a variety of different quilts. You know, if I have a design that I want to try really bad and nobody's ordered that design for me to make, I will get my scraps out. I will cut them apart and I will put them together into a lap size quilt top. All I do is quilt tops. They have a church that I think they have a machine quilter there. I'm not sure, but I send 5 or 6 at a time, and they quilt them, and then they send them on to charity events. I don't know exactly where they go. I just know they go for charity. You know, they do give me the option to get a receipt for my taxes, which I never do because you really have to do a lot to get a tax write-off. And, you know, our house is, I think, still a tax write-off yet, so. Zach, turn around. Turn around. I have 3 that look like Zach. You want some more? I got Zach and Frank and Nugget. They're all blue and golds. And Zach's a rescue. Nugget I had since he was 2 weeks old. You won't see Nugget in a video for quite a while, or Frank for that matter, because they're going through their terrible 2s and 3s, and they're bitey. They don't want to sit on my shoulder like Zach does and, you know, be a good boy. I know Frank is a boy. I know Zach is a boy. But I never had Nugget tested. I may have him tested soon to see if he's a boy or girl. He acts like a boy. He's a big tomboy. He's my escape artist. Tempe, she's my Scarlet. And she actually got out of her cage. Her and Frank did. And my husband I went to work when I was working. And I asked him to take the dogs out when he got home. And we were redoing the birds' room. We're taking the carpet out because their messes made it really hard to clean up on carpet. And we want to put a linoleum down or a tile in their room. So we tore the carpet up in their room. You're not getting no more. And so we had the birds in dog cages, on top of the dog cages. And I did not know they could open their cages. Frank can open a cage door, and he would go and let his girlfriend out. And he let her out, so they're both out. And husband opened the back door, and all the dogs and birds were in there at the same time. And Frank was walking out the door, and Tempe flew out the door. All my birds are fully flighted, did not trim their wings, so they can fly. They can't fly well, because Zach's 16 years old. He could fly real well, but he doesn't. He chooses not to. And Frank and Tempe, being they're under 3 years old, they don't fly well. They don't leave their parents' nest until they're 3. He's petting me. So she could only fly from tree to tree to tree to tree. And I was upset. My husband calls me at work. Ouch. There. Here. And took me 2 days to get her back. The fire department and some friends, we found her and we're chasing her all over the neighborhood for 8 hours. No more. And we got her back, and she's just been a sweetheart since she got back. She was attacked by a couple hawks. Being out overnight scared her. Yes. Oh, that's enough. Zach. You're being tempy.